Welcome back, and we are going to kick off today with the competition mindset. So, competition mindset. This, in other words, is like lack mentality. But, again, so something I see in a lot of companies, and I get the concept of it, is to, produce sales more or less. And so they have a specific number that you're supposed to reach each day. And so with that, you're supposed to you and your coworkers are supposed to, sell so much, or you're supposed to do so many in a day. Like at Cabela's, we were supposed to do like 33 boxes every hour, give or take, depending. And so you were supposed to have, scanned that many boxes per hour. So they like to put people up and be like, oh, okay, this person got this many, like this person's the highest amount for today, so they like to show off who's like the best of the best. Doesn't mean that they actually get anything. It just means that, they get recognition. But we all know, and if you don't know, then now you know, is that if you get that recognition, then you are expected to meet that every single day. And if you don't meet that, then you will be shamed and guilt for not meeting that. On top of the fact that you will be given more work because you are doing such a good job. Well, if you can handle all of that in that time frame, well then you surely can handle more work. Why not? So you're just given more work and same pay. So you're not getting actually more pay for doing more work. Funny how that works. But they like to have a competition mindset in the workplace because if you really, really think about it, if you are still in that altered and dysregulated nervous system, then you have a lack mentality. You stay in this competition mindset where right now, with everything being the way that it is, and everybody's like, there's no jobs, and it's hard to get a job, and there's nothing out there, and so like in this lack mind state, you are going to compete with other people to try and keep your job. So it continues the whole backstabbing and gossiping and all that toxic negativity work environment that will always perpetuate. So how do you get out of this competition mindset? That's the thing. There's a difference between healthy and toxic competition mindset. So there is a healthy competition. There is considered to be healthy competition. Healthy competition is when you are not connected to the outcome, like your worth. So your worth, it does not equal who wins. So if somebody else wins, then you aren't worthless. Or you're not lacking anything. It's just a little bit of fun. Just to kind of keep things to where you can where it kind of makes it so that you give a little bit more, because whenever you are competing with someone, like when you're racing, you kind of put in a lot more effort because, you're like, oh, okay, well, I got to try and beat this person. So mentally you give it a little bit more. Now, you're not lacking if you lose. And in healthy, you also are not willing to do underhanded tricks. You're not willing to cut people, or, you're not going to take shortcuts. You're not going to sit there and lie, or you're not going to cheat, or, you're not going to try and do things to try and beat the other person at the competition, because you don't care. You're going to play on an even field. Now, of course, all of this is considered to be healthy. Toxic is a whole different level. So in the toxic workplace that you have competition at, you're going to have people that are going to do underhanded things. They're going to lie. They're going to cheat. They're going to, do things to try and win. Because winning equals worth to them. Their worth is tied into whether they win or not. Like, if they don't win, then they are worthless, and they can't handle that. So therefore, they will lie, cheat, and steal, and all that to try and win at all costs. So with that in mind, they are willing to actually take the shortcuts. They are lacking. Everything is lack for them. These are the people that are saying, oh, I just don't have enough money. Even though you get paid the same, their money's going somewhere else. It's being spent on other things, and so they're willing to do the shortcuts. They're willing to talk crap about you to someone higher up to try and get ahead. They are the ones that are willing to they're the ones that are willing to do anything at all costs so that you can't get ahead. Which, the trick with all of this, the trick with the competition mindset, one, you don't have to buy in to the competition mindset. Yeah, you can have a healthy competition with people that also have a healthy competition mindset. I'm just saying that, you need to be able to tell the difference. Like, if somebody's saying, oh yeah, I like a healthy competition, and they're pulling shenanigans, then of course not. They don't have a healthy mindset. And you can spot these people right away. I mean, they're not hard to miss. So the real trick with all of this, if you're still stuck in this kind of competition mindset, and where you're having to compete with other people, and where you're having to meet certain quotas and stuff like that, do you know how you actually get ahead? I don't know if I have room to write it on there, but we'll put it over here. Is to not care. You don't care either way. You're not going to buy into the game. You're not going to play the game. You're not going to actually try and even compete, because you already know that you're good at what you do. You already know that you are the best. The numbers may not show it, but you know it, because you know that you're not doing low-handed stuff to try and get ahead, and you can at least, live with yourself for that one. You're not trying to prove anything. You're not trying to prove that you're, the best of the best of the best. You're not you're not, giving away all this energy to the higher ups and all that to try and be like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. I need to prove my worth. I need to prove my worth. You're not doing that, because you already know that you're amazing. You already know your worth, and you don't need to prove it. Then there's also the fact that this is a little bit mean sometimes, so if you know, this is my shadow, and I'm very happy with it because we get along great. I have a dark side and I have a light side, and you know, if you're gonna continuously be toxic and try and pull shenanigans, I am going to go ahead and I will pull my own little shenanigans. So, what I like to do, and judge me if you want, I don't care, I like to poke the bear. Okay? What I mean by that is that I like to try and push their buttons in a way that, you know, if something bothers them about trying to get ahead and everything like that, I'll do little things to just kind of like make them upset, you know, because why not? Why not? Let's go ahead and get them riled up, because if they are so riled up about trying to play games and try and do nasty stuff to try and take me down, why not make a game out of it? Why not, instead of them taking my power or me giving my power away, why not, like Robert Greene talks about, is, you know, use your opponents. Take their power away. So, and I'm not saying, you know, do things that are just downright mean, because I'm not saying, you know, like be a bully. Not in that context. What I mean by that is like, so for example, let me just elaborate a little bit. When I know someone is heavily competition based, I go a little bit slower. I make a few mistakes, you know, and, you know, see how they react about it, you know. Sometimes I will, you know, just, let's see, what's another one? Another example is I won't give it my all. Because, again, I don't care, and they care too much. And so, therefore, they, you know, try and compare their numbers with me. And I'm like, that's so awesome of you. I'm so proud of you. Other times, like, whenever they do, okay, here's one, is whenever they do things to deliberately try to sabotage me and I see it and I'm aware of it, I don't say anything. I don't actually do anything about it. I just pretend not to notice, which pisses them off because they're just trying to get a reaction. So, like I say, I poke the bear a little bit. But then that goes like back into like not caring, in the fact that, you know, I don't care enough to give a reaction. I just see it and move on. One of the biggest ones is make it a game. Make it a joke. Just laugh at it. You know? Why waste energy on getting upset about something that doesn't really even matter? Because in the long run, you're not going to be staying there, right? Your whole goal is to get a bigger and better job, right? This is not your end all be all. So when you're in, and this doesn't like, and this is not just even for jobs, you know, the competition mindset can go into every single avenue. So like, so many people have a competition mindset with women especially. That is one of the biggest areas that I see that women are competitive with one another, because they feel like there's like, especially the pick-me girls. The pick-me girls are dangerous, super, super dangerous, because they feel like there's a lack of men in this world for some crazy ass reason. And so they will go above and beyond to try and prove that they're better, and they will go above and beyond to tear other women down, just to try and, get male validation, whether it's from a boss, whether it's from a coworker, whatever it may be, or whether it's like one of your friends that's pretending to be a friend and really they're just jealous, and so they just want to try and get your man, or they want to compete with you for other people. The list goes on and on, but at the same time, the competition mindset is a toxic one, and there's, like I said, the healthy, but the toxic one that we see a lot right now, that there's a whole heck of a lot of toxic mindset, is just tearing people down. Backhanded compliments that people give to others that are meant to, like guys that do negging to women just because they want to make them feel less than. So they will, oh, you look pretty. What's up with your eyes though? Like, you look like you got some bags under your eyes. Like, okay, thanks, I guess, or stuff like that. Girls that will constantly tear each other down just because they want to feel better about themselves. So they feel like saying something negative to another person will make them feel better. So why I bring this up is because when you are having to heal, that competition mindset is so ingrained into our brains because we've been doing it since we were small children. I mean, how many times were you compared to your sibling, if you have siblings, or to your cousin, or to somebody? Like, you were constantly compared to another person, which made you believe that you weren't any good because of the fact that you were being compared to that other person. That other person was put on a pedestal, and you were considered to be nothing. That is a big one that we've had a whole heck of a lot of growing up over the years. There's even the competition with, in school, when you're having to try and date, or, all this other stuff with other girls or other guys. The competition of how women are in school sometimes, with tearing each other down and, talking crap about each other behind each other's backs and whatever else. That kind of stuff to try and get male validation, or female validation for guys that do that to other guys. I'm not 100% sure from that one, because I know of maybe a few people that's happened to, but I'm speaking from my own experience being a female, So the thing with this one is, like, when you're on your healing journey, you are going to compete. You're going to, like, it's one of those weird things that you're going to compare your healing with another person's healing. You're going to be like, well, look at them. They're so much further down the line than I am. How come I can't get this? How come I can't understand this? Like, what's my problem? Why am I not understand? Because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. Every person is at a different point in their journey. There are people that are just barely coming out of the crazy ass awakening tunnel. And believe me, it's depending on what you have and what you've been through. Some journeys are a lot longer than others. And some people don't have as much that they have to, work through. So they, have a little bit quicker journey. It doesn't matter. Everybody's different. So you comparing your journey to another person's journey, we may have similar concepts, and we may have similar situations. Like, some of us have similar traumas that maybe aren't the exact same, but they're similar, okay? The trick is to not look at that other person's journey and beat yourself up for it and say, well, they're that far ahead. I can't believe it. I'm a failure because I can't get that far and I haven't made it that far. No. You're supposed to change your mindset on how you view it. Celebrate that person for making it that far. They made it. They made it that far. Hell yeah. That's inspiration for you. That's hope for you that, hey, if that person can make it that far, you can do it too. If somebody made it out the other side, well, dang, I can do it too. It's having to reframe your brain so that you don't think in lack. Because that's where we get stuck. Because that part of that lack, that competition, that lack mentality is actually what keeps you poor. That's what throws your money away, is because of the fact that you are constantly thinking that there's not enough. There's not enough men. There's not enough jobs. There's not enough, positions in this job for me to move up. There's not enough. You'll constantly be in the not enough. And when you're thinking there's not enough, you're actually you're radiating that you aren't enough. That's your energy. I'm not enough. I'm worthless. I'm not enough. And you have to get out of that mentality. You have to start really focusing on what you have right now. And this goes back to my other video on, gratitude and being grateful for what you have now. Because where I may not be where I want to be right now. I may not be where I want my life to be, but I damn well sure am in a place where I used to want to be. I used to want to be in this spot right here, right now, with what I have and who I am, and I am severely grateful for that. I am so happy that I have made it this far. I still have a whole lot of plans for the future, but I can stand in this moment and I can say, hey, look how far I've made it. I am not the same person that I once was, and I was talking to my kids about this just today. If you look back at where I was when I was still married to their father, and I was being beaten, and we were still living in a controlling and very unsafe household where, they could not thrive or even be themselves. They lived in fear. We all lived in fear. We are not the same people that we were back then as we are now. It's insane. The difference is night and day, and it's a beautiful thing. So, with the whole competition mindset, it's not about, comparing yourself to another person. There's this amazing quote that we learned in treatment is, and I think everybody's probably heard it, comparison is the biggest thief of joy. So, when you compare yourself to another person, you are pretty much taking your own personal joy away. You are stealing your own joy. You are telling yourself that you aren't enough because that other person has more, or that person has something that you don't have. And there are going to be some people that you're going to meet along the way that are going to be like, oh, let me throw out there all the stuff that I have. I have met some people that love to sit there and they pretend to flaunt what they have, they are better than you because of I got this, or I got that, or I got this, or I got that. All that really is excuse me. All that really is them projecting out to you how they think that they are lacking, and they're trying to prove to themselves. They're not trying to prove to you anything. All they're doing is trying to prove to themselves how they are better than you. Because they see something that you have and they want it and they don't have it. And so therefore they are trying to put out this I have this. And they're just trying to convince themselves how they have their life is better in some way, sort, or form. It's something that I experience with a lot of people. And in those moments, I'm just like, okay, cool. When they want a reaction out of you, they want you to be jealous because they are actually jealous of you for some reason, sort of form. I don't know what, and I really don't care what. Because at this point, I give up on even caring about why they're jealous, but they are. And that's not my problem. That's their feelings that they need to fix. But because of the fact that they are jealous, they will try to make you jealous. So they will do things to try and get jealousy out of you. But whenever you are healthy and you work on these areas over here and you don't care and really you're happy with your life, you are perfectly content with everything that you have. Why would you even want to feel jealousy? Why would you even want to actually like play into that? So that's where, when you don't have the competitive mindset, whenever you have like let go of trying to compare your life to other people, is when you can reach this point, this not caring, not trying to prove anything, making it a game or a joke, and seeing through the veil, seeing through the facade, the masks that people wear. And honestly, that's part of the poking the bear too, because then they get upset because you're not getting jealous, which makes them mad because of the fact that they are jealous and you're not. And so it just kind of makes them even more jealous. Make that make sense? I don't know, but it does. So, like I say, competition mindset is lack mentality, is lack thinking. So getting yourself out of that is how you actually bring in abundance. And that's how you bring in the right people too, is because of the fact that you are not thinking, oh, I have to like be friends with this person because I'm never going to find another person like this person. I have to date this person because I'll never find another person like this person. No, you don't. There are millions of people in this world. Find people that are just like you. Don't settle. Don't settle for people that don't even care about you, that honestly hate you and are jealous of you. So why would you want to be friends with people that all their life they're just going to compete with you? It's not worth it. So stay positive. Stay healthy, stay, abundance mindset. Just stay in that golden state, because of the fact that when you stay there, you will attract. Those things will come to you. You will have those things happen. And I have. Numerous things have happened because I've stayed in this mindset, the non-competition, the abundance mindset. So I'm going to leave that here because of the fact that I got to go to bed. I got to work in the morning. And also my kids have been so wonderful as to like really not saying anything and being pretty quiet right now while they're like gaming and I'm doing my video. So I love you guys for that. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I'm not going to hold up all their time because they got to go to bed here in like 30 minutes. So give them at least that time to be able to still play without having to be quiet. So on that note, either you can like, share, subscribe, or don't. That's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And you have free will. You can make your own choices. But if you feel like you want to, go for it. You know where to do it. You know what to do. You know how to do it. So, I love you all. Sorry, my guides just gave me this stupid peace, love, and chicken grease. That's what one of them said in my head. So I can't help but laugh at that one. So, per one of my guides, peace, love, and chicken grease. Okay?